Hi everyone, welcome to my booktube channel, Books for My Heart. I'm Angela. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This video is going to be addressing the ambiguity of words in Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. I have two additional videos that I'm going to be uploading on the precise nature of words and the nonsensical nature of words, so please look out for those as well. I love Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. I think these are two of the finest books ever written. I am completely blown away by the writing in them. I absolutely adore them, and I don't have enough positive things to say about them. I have reread Alice in Wonderland dozens of times. I also dedicated an entire semester of graduate school studying the rhetoric of Alice in Wonderland, as well as attending and speaking at a conference held at Harvard addressing Alice in Wonderland and the ambiguity of words in the text. You can also download and read a paper I had published in the International Journal of Arts and Sciences, Do Words Have Meaning? Lacanian Theory on Carol's Writing, addressing the ambiguity of words of Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. That is a very long way of saying I know this subject matter extraordinarily well. Lewis Carroll wanted readers to question words and their meanings, so he wrote with a very specific intent. He introduced new words, different meanings, and inverted texts. He wanted readers to question what they were reading and why. One of the questions that I tried to analyze was, why are words ambiguous in Alice in Wonderland? Wonderland and Looking Glass Land exist outside of the normal world. They are different. They are not a part of our society. Wonderland and Looking Glass Land exist outside of the normal world. Therefore, it's perfectly acceptable for there to be nonsense. Words don't have to have meaning because they're not in the real world. In that regard, it makes complete sense that words have this ambiguity because they don't exist in the known world. There are no expectations. There are no set definitions. One of the most famous characters from Alice in Wonderland is the Mad Hatter. But he's not angry, which is the first meaning for the word, but potentially insane, invoking a secondary meaning. But at the same time, the reader has to wonder, what does insane really mean in Wonderland? What might be considered insane for us might be normal for them. I'm having so much fun talking about this right now. In the story, Humpty Dumpty asks Alice how old she is. She says she is 7½ exactly. Humpty Dumpty tells Alice she cannot be exactly 7½. As the reader, you can pause and actually agree with him. There are weeks, hours, minutes to consider. You cannot be exactly anything. She cannot be exactly 7½. And so Humpty Dumpty is actually having her question the words that she's using. Humpty Dumpty in this way is actually drawing Alice's attention to the fact she's trying to talk in a precise manner, but sometimes things can be ambiguous. When you say you are 7, people don't know if you just turned 7 or if you're almost turning 8. There is a difference. I really like this fact because Humpty Dumpty's trying to tell her, unless you know it by the minute, you cannot say exactly. She could have just turned 7, she could be 7½, or she could be almost 8. But there's no real way of telling exactly where she falls in that age line just through dialogue. One of my favorite examples is when Alice is falling down the rabbit hole. She picks up a jar labeled marmalade, thinking she's going to have a snack while she's falling. Personally, if I was falling down a hole, I'd be worried about hitting the floor and dying. She's apparently hungry. No judging, to each his or her own, but Alice is hungry. She picks up a jar labeled marmalade, thinking she's going to have a snack, waiting to fall and hit whatever floor she's going towards, but it's empty. It's labeled one thing, but the contents are another. Just let that soak in for a second. The label misrepresented its contents. Carol provided an expectation that wasn't met. For me, that is the moment in which readers should realize there are no expectations. They're entering a fictitious world with its own set of rules. The jar says one thing, but its contents are another. Expectations, reality. The reader is entering a unique world. I am having so much fun with this conversation right now. I love this. I'm like a little kid. So much fun. My all-time favorite example, a raven and a writing desk. The Mad Hatter asks Alice, why is a raven like a writing desk? Just take a moment, just really think about this. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Is it the color? Are they both dark? Is it the size? Is it because of Edgar Allan Poe? What is it? Do you have an answer? I doubt it, because there's no reason. There's not supposed to be a reason. but you stopped and you thought about it. There is not supposed to be an answer, but you as the reader start to question and wonder, comparing two unlike objects. They start comparing an animate object, a raven, a live animal, to an inanimate object, a desk. They are unlike in every way, shape, and form, but yet the reader starts to compare. Carol wanted the reader to question, why do we have expectations? Why do we have meanings? I really, really enjoy that example. I love Alice in Wonderland so much, as you can probably tell by now. If you have any thoughts on the ambiguity of words, I would really enjoy reading your comments. Clearly, this is something I've spent a great deal of time on, so if you have any thoughts, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, have a great reading day. Especially if you're reading Alice in Wonderland.